Laughter and play are key ingredients in keeping couples together. We often don't think about that, but we are attracted to people with whom we laugh and play and enjoy ourselves. We have fun with them. So when life gets hard, we lose the job, we get laid off, the kid gets sick, we have a heavy mortgage payment, sometimes we will forget to laugh and play. Laughter and play enhances our immune system. Research shows that it can be very good for us in many ways. It creates flexibility of thought and is as effective as aerobic exercise for boosting health in the mind and body. That's from Stuart Brown's National Institute of Play. I like that institute. I want to play. I'm a very serious person and I had a hard time playing. And so honestly, I had to be intentional about playing. I want to tell you a story about a couple with whom I worked many, many years ago. And I had seen them through thick and thin. They had gone through so much with their children, with addiction. They put their children in treatment and they were able to get their boys to be clean and sober. And it was wonderful. And I did family therapy with them for a period of 2 years. They worked together in beautiful co-parenting. But as they got older and the boys grew up and they had kids and grandkids, life got hard. He got laid off. They didn't have enough retirement. He bought a business and the business failed. And they called me one day and she said, I'm pretty much had enough. You know, life has been hard in this marriage and I don't think I can do it anymore. And I said, wait a minute, you guys are champions. You guys actually worked through the addiction of both of your sons and did beautifully. Why are you giving up now? And she said, I'm just tired. At the time, we were doing Soul Healing Love couples workshops in our home, in our basement. It just so happened we were having one that weekend and I invited her to come and she said, I'll come for you, but I won't come for him. I'm really mad at him because I feel like he's had a series of failures that have put us in this position. Not a shock, but these two were not laughing and playing. Now, what's important is when those kids were on my caseload, my husband, Dr. Tom, was a youth pastor. And we invited them to join our youth group because with any addict as a teen, we wanted them to have a positive youth culture. Well, this couple came along. I know what you're going to say about dual relationships. That was way before all the books. I'm ancient. I've been doing therapy for 48 years. So they came and they were youth sponsors. And this couple was so much fun. They would come up with ideas for games. They chaperoned. We had a ball together and these boys found a positive youth culture. So it was really hard for me to see her so morose and sad and upset. There was one thing about her, though, that she had this famous cackle that once she began to laugh, everybody would laugh. And she wasn't laughing when she came to the workshop. Now, we happen to believe that couples who play together stay together as well. So on Friday nights at our couples weekends, we always have game night. And we play stupid games. We play dumb games. We play pass the lifesaver back and forth with a toothpick. And one of our famous games is the orange game. Many of you have played it. It's actually a junior high game to get kids to touch each other, which isn't great. But in the orange game, we pass out oranges, and what couples do is they pass the orange back and forth only using their neck. So they laugh, they giggle, they tickle each other. And it's usually hysterical, and most people don't pass the orange that much, but they're having a good time, and they go, wow, man, this is so much fun. It underscores the value of playing together. It just so happened that night, my famous couple was there, and she's like, oh, I don't want to do this exercise. And I said, come on, do it for me. Do it for me. Besides, you need to get up and move. So as we're playing the orange game and I'm looking around the room, counting how many people have passed it back and forth and they're going to get a prize, all of a sudden, in the middle of that room of laughter, I hear a very distinct cackle. It was her. It was her laughing at him being silly and dropping the orange and going down her belly to get it. And she was cackling, and all of a sudden she looks up at him and he looks down at her, and her cackle turned into a cry, and she began to weep, and he began to weep. And they looked at each other, and as I walked over to them, she said, "Honey, where did this go?" And he said, "I don't know. I don't know what happened." Well, I don't mind telling you that I was crying as well. Because what they realized is, she looked at me and she said, "I think I forgot us. I think I forgot us." Us laughed and played and were the hit of the youth group, embarrassed their sons to death with their silliness, and they forgot us. So laughter and play brought them back to who they were. That's not the end of the story. Oh, it was a year later, and I ran into one of the sons and his wife at the mall, and he told me that his parents were teaching a couple's Sunday school class in their church. I said, "You're kidding." And she said, "Yeah, and we have to play this game every time we have a meeting or a party. And we have to take these oranges and we have to pass them back and forth, and they won't have it until we finish the orange game." And I realized they saw the value of laughter and play, and they're passing it on to the next generation. I want you to think about how we used to be and how the power struggle has muted us, and what we need to do to begin to get that joy back in our relationships.